Plaintiff Angie Wary says the defendant is her cousin, and they were close growing up. But Angie says she disconnected from her family for 2 years because she couldn't deal with their drama. Angie claims she would now like to rebuild her relationship with the defendant, but she's suing her today for unpaid rent. Defendant Melody Brown says she and her ex rented a house from Angie, and soon after she lost her grandfather and her marriage fell apart. Melody admits that as a result she fell behind on rent, but she feels her ex should be held responsible for half of what she's being sued for.
Start with you.
Melody's my cousin. We were very close growing up. She was a tomboy. She went to school to be a mechanic. I thought she was bisexual.
You thought?
I thought.
What does being a mechanic have to do with her sexuality?
Thank you.
No, she had this short hair. She went with a lot of girls. It was a.
Is she bisexual?
No, she's not.
And you're using these stereotypes.
No,
I took a girl, my best friend, to prom in high school, and we wore zoot suits. That's when they started thinking I was a lesbian.
Correct.
All right, stereotypes.
I'm just being honest. I had thought. Yes.
All right, you say you're being honest. Good enough.
I'm
what
human.
Else?
But Your Honor, in 2012, Melody, she really suffered some losses, and during that time, it's at a point now where I can no longer suffer those losses. I need this to be taken care of so that we can move on and so that we can rebuild our relationship.
But beyond that, your relationship hasn't been problematic other than this incident?
There was a period of 2 years where I disconnected myself from the family. I just couldn't take the drama and all of the chaoticness.
What type of drama and chaos?
I come from a big family. They all like to gossip. We're all women. And so we all like to say things behind each other's back.
All women like to gossip. Another stereotype.
Again, I know, right? I don't mean to be like that, but we are women. We like to, talk, and I just couldn't do it mentally and emotionally, and so I had disconnected myself during that time.
Okay.
And
let me tell you, my wife, I'm convinced after 30 some odd years, she doesn't gossip, doesn't tell her business, and she doesn't talk a whole lot. Now her mother, that's something different. Don't tell her nothing. Just kidding, Mama. Okay, so how did that cause you to cut yourself off? As you say, you believe that all women gossip, so they were doing what you are used to. And all of them couldn't have said it, or perhaps they did.
Yeah,
Why did you cut yourself off over some gossip?
There was just a lot of stuff that was being said, and I was going to school. I was a very young mother.
Was she saying some of it?
I don't believe.
Then why did you cut yourself off from her?
Because I couldn't take any of the family. I had to eliminate.
But she didn't do anything.
No, I understand.
I got some family members I won't deal with for a variety of reasons.
Right,
but
at the
I
time,
don't cut myself off from all of them.
Right.
Just the dope fiends.
At the time.
Go ahead.
It's a little worse than gossip.
That's worse than gossip. That's right.
Plaintiff Angie Wary is suing her cousin, and she claims she desperately wants to rebuild their relationship because they haven't spoken in 2 years.
Let me hear from you, man, about your relationship.
Like she said, in 2012, I did go through a lot of losses. Our grandfather had passed away, who was like my father, because my real father had passed away when I was 3. So he was the only real father figure I've had. So when he passed, it killed me. And then I had marital issues. My business, I had a paint contracting business that went down because of Michigan's economy.
What part of Michigan are you all from?
Lansing.
Michigan State?
Yep.
Yes.
That's the basketball, that's the college.
Yes.
I say that's terrible whenever you refer to a college by its sports.
But it is
the college is there for scholastics and not for sports. But it has, I said basketball, it has one of the most dominant basketball teams in the last 2 decades, primarily because of their coach. Great coach. That's right, Izzo, Coach Izzo, whom my daughter worked for as a student for a few years when she was at Michigan State. Either one of you go to Michigan State?
My stepson is going there.
All right, your stepson go?
I don't have no kids.
Judgment for you. So during that time, you lost your business. How?
The economy, people quit calling, quit wanting painting work done.
Gotcha.
Wasn't able to make enough to keep ends going. And
Why do you all separate yourselves for 2 years, do you believe?
Honestly, in a sense, I feel like she felt she was too good for the family. Like she was a little better than the rest of us, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's why she separated herself. I'm not gonna lie, I separated myself too from the family.
Why?
Because of everything I was going through, I didn't feel I was getting the support mentally that I needed. I felt like they were bringing me down, not up.
All right. Now, the $3,000 you're suing for rent, how does she owe you for that?
In 2011, Melody and her husband at the time signed a 1-year lease through November 2012. In October of 2012 is when Melody started suffering these losses, and she had contacted me, and we changed it over to a month-to-month lease at that point. She did indicate that she wasn't able to make payment, but she had promised that she would be able to pay me as soon as she was able to get up on her feet. I have text messages and Facebook, and
How did you come to $3,000?
it was October 2012 through April 2013.
How much per month?
$500, so a total of $3,000.
Okay.
Plaintiff Angie Wary is suing her cousin, and she claims she desperately wants to rebuild their relationship because they haven't spoken in 2 years.
Ma'am, what do you say to that?
Well, I'll admit that I do feel I owe half, $1,500. But since my husband was on the lease as well, and we're going through the divorce, I do feel like he should be held accountable for half as well.
Not
But in
divorced
fairness,
yet. You're not divorced
In
yet?
process.
What did you say?
in fairness, it wasn't, the agreement was never existed between, at that point we went to month. It was between Melody and myself. He was not living in the home. He was not residing there at that point in time.
It was his legal residence.
But I have all of the texts and everything I can show you where she said
She
that
says,
she
I'll
fully.
pay you $3,000.
It doesn't
Just
say
read that
the.
one.
It
Pardon me?
doesn't say the amount.
Oh, that's what we want to know, the amount.
It doesn't say the amount.
At all?
No, I
Well,
never.
she said she owes you.
Yes, but we never indicated the amount.
And ma'am, unfortunately, you all are jointly liable. That's why I asked what your status was with the divorce. I'll grant you the judgment because they are jointly liable. While they're married, he's 100% liable, you're 100% liable. That's jointly and severally. So in this case, judgment for the plaintiff, you have to pay his share too. When you get to the judge, divorce judge, tell him. Say, Judge, I had to pay part of his judgment for the rent after he abandoned me. So, Judge, I think you should punish him for that.
Okay.
Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Honestly, I have no intentions of carrying on a relationship with her. I don't see the point.
I'm devastated. I was hoping we could put this behind us and build a relationship.
We ain't talked in, I don't know how long. You talk to my mom more than you talk to me. You act like you're scared of me.
It's not that I'm scared of you. I'm afraid that you're fragile. And it's easier for me to communicate through your mother because I don't know what you're able to take.
If you communicated with me, this would have been a lot better and easier instead of through my mother. So it is what it is.
Ever wonder how to go about collecting from a minor who damaged your property or owes you money? If so, ask me, Judge Mathis, at AskJudgeMathis.com.